Morning, YouTube. Sean Ponder II, coming to you from Missouri on my way to work. This is home to work vibes. Hopefully, all of you had a great night of sleep. Hopefully, your day is going to be as prosperous as mine is. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at TonyGumble21. Also, follow me, like, share, subscribe to me here on YouTube, Sheldon Ponder. Also, comment, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Sheldon Ponder 21 or Sheldon Ponder, whichever works best. I'm trying a new setup today. The base that was holding the phone holder broke. I hit a huge pothole, which caused this part to break. And hopefully by tomorrow or the weekend, you won't see the little bar right there. I need to get one of those holders that you put in your vent. That way, it'll stay locked into place. All right. Now that the housekeeping is out of the way, let's get on with our subject today. And that rhymed a little bit, I know. Topic of the morning is going to be the MLB. Now, the MLB is starting to wind down. It's starting to get close to September, which once September hits, it's time for the playoffs. And certain teams are going to make the playoffs, and certain teams are not going to make the playoffs. The Royals definitely are not going to make the playoffs. In fact, this offseason is going to be where they make a huge overhaul in their lineup, and they're going to start letting some people go. And also, they're going to start picking up some people. Now, I'm going to focus on now who I have going to the World Series is the Cubs and possibly the Red Sox. The reason why I say the Cubs is because they have a strong, strong lineup managed by Joe Madden. And Joe Madden is a tremendous coach. Tremendous coach. In fact, it is hard to beat the Cubs because you have so many good players. You have Javi Baez, you have Kyle Schwarber who can knock the lid off of a baseball. You have Pedro Strop, you have John Lester, you have Edwards Jr. You have so many people on this squad who is extremely talented. For them to win their for them to win a World Series in 108 years, they really deserved it. They deserved it. I mean, they played with so much adversity. I mean, for them to play with so much adversity and so much determination, I mean, me, goodness me, that right there is something extremely wonderful. Now they didn't do it last year because, and the reason why a lot of teams make it one year but don't make it another year is because they get complacent. They get complacent. They the team that wins, which Houston last year just really rocked the entire world with their win over the Dodgers. But I believe that they can do it again, and it's either going to be the Cubs and Red Sox or Milwaukee and Houston. I mean, that is huge. That is huge, and Milwaukee is nipping at the heels of the Cubs. Cubs are a strong team. So is Milwaukee. So is Houston, and that's how I feel like it's going to be. It's going to come down to Game 7 between the Cubs and Milwaukee, and it's going to come down to the ninth inning. They're going to tie it up in the ninth inning, and someone is going to knock in the infield single, which is going to open up the. Sorry, um, it's going to come down to the ninth inning, and is the ninth inning is going to come down to a hit, two base hits, and a home run between all four teams. That's what it's going to come down to. Now, it's going to be a toss up on who makes it to the World Series between these four teams because all four teams are extremely, extremely, extremely good, and they can beat you when you least expect it. When you least expect it, they can beat you. They can. They can beat you offensively and they can beat you defensively. What's that saying? Defense wins championships? Yeah. Yes, they do. They do win championships. And just like in 2016, it's going to come down to the Cubs and the Red Sox. Or, it's really difficult to tell who's going to be in the World Series because these four teams, and I'm not taking anything away from the other 27 teams or 28 teams, but these four teams, if you had to put them in a bracket, Chicago would take the NLCS, would take the National League, and it would be a toss up between Boston and Houston. Because Boston and Houston are two very talented teams. You saw how long it took Houston to get a strong team. It took them 11 years. It had been 11 years since they were last in the World Series. 11 years later, guess what? They're in the World Series, and they even take it one step further and win the World Series. Yeah, they had some rough seasons, but 2014, 15, and 16, they got it to where they can contend. 2017, they make it all the way and win the World Series. Once you win the World Series, nobody can take that away from you. That shows that you played your heart out during the season. Yes, it wasn't easy. Yes, you might have lost some games. But the main thing is that you stayed on task and you made sure that your team, your team and your teammates, excuse me, you made sure that you and your teammates finished the job. That's everybody's aspiration is to get to the World Series. Now, the World Series is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You're not going to get there every single year. Now, during the 90s, you had Atlanta going back to back. You had New York going back to back to back to back. And but here's the issue though. Now that you are a World Series champion, there's a big target that's on your back, and that target is that can they do it again? Who are they going to keep and who are they going to let go? Who are they going to pick up? Who is going to make them better than they were last year? A lot of questions are going to be asked during the off season. Whoever wins the World Series, that's going to be their big question. Who is going to help us get to the ultimate goal again? And that's going to be a challenge because every team wants to give a big contract to the person who's going to be a standout guy in the MLB. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, because we don't know what's going to happen next year. We don't know what's going to happen in the off season. We don't know who's going to go where. But people are starting to think about it now who are not going to make the playoffs. They're going to say, well, you know what? Let's start looking into this guy. Let's start looking into that guy. Let's start looking into this guy or that guy. Then after the season, whether they're uh, whether they make the playoffs or not, then they're going to say, okay, well let's meet with him or whenever whenever free agency starts, they're going to say, well let's meet with him, let's see what he's about, and then if they like him as much, then guess what? They're going to get with his agent and his people, and they're going to start negotiating during the off season. Now, the off season goes from, I believe, November to February. Yeah, 4 months. 4 months to start getting your pieces together on the next season. And then once you get your pieces together for the next season, then it's time to start molding that team. It's time to start putting that team together. Now, is there such thing as a super team? Eh, I guess. I don't know. Do I really care? Not really. But every team wants to be good, but not every team is going to have the manpower to make it. I mean, look at Cleveland. 2016, they took the Cubs to Game 7, and they are still doing good. So, what am I saying? I'm saying that now some teams who make it to the World Series, who lose in the World Series, they it's it's not easy. It's never easy. It is never easy to try and get to the World Series twice. Whether if you win or you lose, it's hard to get back there because the teams that sucked the last season, oh, they're going to get the right pieces together and they're going to put together a strong team. A strong team. Now, there are going to be a lot of guys that get hurt. That's just the way baseball goes. A lot of guys are going to get hurt. I mean, a lot of guys are going to get hurt, but that's to be expected. You know, you're not going to have a completely strong team every year. There's going to be a guy that gets hurt. There's going to be a guy because it's human nature. Everybody gets hurt once in a while. Everybody does. Nobody is invincible from injury in any sport. I don't care what sport you're in. But as I said, you're going to be good one year, and then the next year you have to prove you have to prove that you all can make it again. Now, a lot of teams do make it again, and a lot of teams don't. You saw with the Cubs last year. Cubs didn't make it. This might be their year this year. They've won more games than they have lost, and that is tremendous. I mean, they play 162 games a season, and you know to to play uh, night in and night out. You play and then you don't get home until uh, some cases 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then you have to be back at the stadium about 12, 1 o'clock, and it takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on you, but that's the best. That shows resiliency. It really does. It really does. I applaud those people who play baseball because that's not an easy task. You're away from your family. You get to come home for a couple of days. You get to rest up, and then you're right back on the road or at the stadium. And then the fan base, oh my goodness, the fan base for the Cubs, and I mean, the fan base for every team is tremendous, especially during the World Series. People will take off of work literally will take off of work to go to a baseball game. And if it's a corporate event, people will definitely people will take off work at. I mean, if people get off work at 5 o'clock and the game is at 7:05. If you're in the corporate world or whatever world you're in, hey, you're gonna want a ticket. I know I would. It's a corporate event and everybody wants to go. Yeah. But the teams that I mentioned are going to be deadly come playoff time. The four teams that I mentioned, they're gonna have, they're just gonna go to the ALCS and the NLCS. That's where they're going. That is where they're going. That's where they're going. Now, the teams who are going to make the wild card, you know what? That's just going to be a tough one because whoever makes the wild card, they're going to have a uphill. They're going to have an uphill battle. They're going to have an uphill battle because these four teams are, as I said, they are deadly. They are really, really deadly. And if you blink, you're going to be down by some runs. It's going to be hard to come back. I mean, look at look at how about a week and a half ago, uh, uh, Cubs player named Bote, who was playing for who was playing in the spot of injured third baseman Chris Bryant, hit a grand slam, and the Cubs were down, I think 6-4. And then the grand slam just took the took the lid off, and they won 7-6. And all of Wrigley Field. I mean, there is not one person in all of Wrigley Field did not. There was not one person who did not get up out of their seat and just like lose it. There wasn't. There was not. I didn't see it, but I saw it on Instagram, and oh boy. And then if you happen to hit a infield single or something that wins you the game, what will happen is that whoever whoever your teammates are, they will snatch your jersey off, and you have the Cubs, I guess, liner on or whatever they call it, and it's just incredible. It's just incredible how they do it. It's incredible how they do it. But this this postseason is going to be huge for each team that's going to be going to the postseason. Postseason is going to be huge. I mean, this postseason is going to be probably one of the best postseasons since 2016 and last year. That's how crazy this postseason is going to be. That's how deadly this postseason is going to be. This postseason is going to be huge. I mean, without a doubt, it's going to be huge. And if you blink, you're going to miss it. If you blink, you are going to miss it. You're going to miss it. Who do you think is going to be in the world? Who do you think is going to make it to the playoffs? We're getting down to the final few days of the regular season. Who do you think is going to go to the playoffs? Comment and subscribe to me here on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this on YouTube. Let me know. Who do you think is going to who do you think is going to make the playoffs? Who do you think is going to take it all the way to the World Series? I'm interested to know. Once again, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Tony Gumbo 21. Also, like, share, subscribe to me here on YouTube. Sheldon Ponder. You all have a good day, YouTube, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.